Hey geeks, I'm Trey Guillotine, and you're watching Geekly Trends, where I give a few thoughts about some of the geeky trends that have gone on in the past week. I have a lot of news surrounding the Spider-Man Homecoming film coming out in a few months, but first... we got our first look at Lara Croft in the upcoming Tomb Raider movie, as well as some details on the story. It looks like she's traveling to Japan to investigate the disappearance/murder of her father. The movie, especially the way Lara looks, is taking a lot of inspiration from the Tomb Raider reboots, the first Tomb Raider reboot and then Rise of the Tomb Raider, which was a much more realistic take on the character, as well as feeling very fleshed out and seeing kind of the thoughts going through her head and her motivations, her insecurities, and her strengths. I still think the Tomb Raider reboot is one of the best games I've ever played. So the fact that they're going to be taking a lot of inspiration from those games for the movie, I think is a great idea. Also, the fact that it's taking place in Japan kind of alludes to the possibility that the rest of the story might take even more from the original Tomb Raider reboot, as the Tomb Raider reboot had her traveling to islands in Japan looking for a lost Japanese dynasty. So far, the rule has been that video game movies are going to suck. In my experience, there are only 3 that I thought were actually good, and 1 that I thought was at least entertaining. The 3 that I thought were good were, of course, Warcraft, and then the 2 Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie. The one that I thought was just okay and mildly entertaining was Doom. But the original Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie were actually pretty good. But they were also very over-the-top, very campy, centered around action Lara Croft. Whereas this Tomb Raider and the Tomb Raider reboots definitely have their fair share of action, but it also focuses a little bit more on her character and her evolving into the Tomb Raider. Blizzard announced that they'll be releasing a remastered version of the original Starcraft game. They've updated and enhanced the graphics as well as the voice acting, but they say the overall game will still have the same feel and the same balance. I'm actually pretty jazzed about this. Starcraft is a game I've been really wanting to get back into. So maybe this will finally be the chance I have to go back and revisit Starcraft and kind of get the full story as well as the gameplay, and then I can go back into Starcraft 2. I also hope that this will also be a console release, but we'll see. New posters and trailer were released for Spider-Man Homecoming, giving a really in-depth look at the story. And it seems to be focusing on Spider-Man living up to being Spider-Man. With his debut in Civil War and the videos of that fight going viral, however there were videos taken of that fight, well, I guess we'll find out. Spider-Man is now a big deal and he's trying to live up to that, but the overall story seems like it's going backwards. And he doesn't do so well as Spider-Man, and Tony Stark takes away the Spider-Man suit, and then he has to figure out how to be Spider-Man without the suit, how to be Spider-Man instead of just acting like Spider-Man or looking like Spider-Man. The trailer also gives a very quick glimpse at Damage Control. Damage Control is an organization of S.H.I.E.L.D. who comes in after superhero fights to clean up the mess. I highly doubt Damage Control will be part of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this film or in the MCU. It looks like Tony Stark is actually managing Damage Control, which, as we saw in Ultron, he's already kind of doing, having a relief fund set aside after the damages of a superhero fight. But now it looks like he's taking a more direct role, as well as a relief fund, as actually cleaning up their mess. Damage Control was also being considered for its own TV show a while back, and it was going to be an Office-style comedy. But as far as we know, that idea has been scrapped, so it looks like it'll be making its appearance in Spider-Man Homecoming, and maybe even more throughout the MCU films. There is some bad news on the horizon for Spider-Man. In an interview, one of the Sony executives hinted at the possibility of Spider-Man not staying in the MCU after the sequel, which just the thought of that makes me irrationally angry. It looks most likely that what they're planning to do is that if Spider-Man Homecoming is a blockbuster hit, they'll probably stay with Marvel, but if not, they'll take Spider-Man away and focusing on their own Spider-Man expanded universe, because everyone has to have their own expanded universe now. Everyone just has to do their own expanded universe. There's the Disney Princess expanded universe, there's the X-Men expanded universe, there's the DC TV expanded universe, as well as the DC has 2. DC has 2 cinematic universes. Why can't you just have a good thing, Sony? You made the deal with Marvel, you worked together, you even said how great it was that you were able to work together, and now you're just screwing the pooch. Why? 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 Nothing has been confirmed. This is all rumor and speculation just off what one executive said. Hopefully she misspoke. I don't know. I really don't want the MCU to lose Spider-Man. We've already got enough issues with the MCU of trying to have TV and film work together. We really don't need to have Spider-Man and then not have Spider-Man. But even if they don't take away Spider-Man, it also looks like they are going ahead with their own cinematic universe, focusing on a lot of the villains in Spider-Man, like a Venom solo movie that's supposed to be an R-rated kind of horror movie. And also the possibility of a Suicide Squad style Sinister Six. So because one person did something, Sony has to do. Oh, well, why can't stuff just work out? Why? I'm not happy about this news, and this is something that I'm going to do my best to follow very closely. Chances are we won't hear anything else about it until after the release of Spider-Man, which isn't until this summer. I really want this to work out. I really, really want this to work out. I don't want to lose Spider-Man after he had such a great debut in Civil War. I think Tom Holland is doing a fantastic job as Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong, I really like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but he was just kind of Tobey Maguire in a Spider-Man costume. Andrew Garfield, I think, was even better than Tobey Maguire because he kind of had that New York Spider-Man attitude. But then with Tom Holland, it's as if they took Ultimate Spider-Man from the cartoon and put him right on the screen. He's got that, he's a little genius punk. And I love that about Spider-Man. He is a kid. He is a little genius punk kid. And I want to see more of that in the MCU, and I'm very excited to see more of that in the MCU, and I don't want to lose Spider-Man from the MCU. Can people just do their own things? Like, Sony, just give the rights back. Just give Spider-Man rights back to Marvel. Fox, just give X-Men rights back to Marvel, and just go do your own things. Go do your own things. What are some of this week's geeky trends that you'd like to talk about? Let me know in the comments or on any of the social media. Follow me on all the internets, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and check out my Patreon to support more of my future content. And share the video around so others can join in the conversation. Check out templeofgeek.com, your one-stop for all things geek, and subscribe to my channel to geek out some more. Thanks for watching and have fun.